Late night tweets making headlines again. A few minutes after midnight, the president tweeted, "Despite the constant negative press, kov fief."
Where I first noticed there was ketchup dripping down the wall, and there's a shattered porcelain plate on the floor.
Picture this. It's just another day in the Oval Office. Trump's sitting at his desk, scrolling through Twitter when suddenly he sees it. Ariana Grande, the pop sensation, has just dissed him in her new music video. His face turns as orange as his spray tan. What happens next? Does Trump unleash a tweet storm? Does he declare war on pop music? Or does he just sit there fuming as his ketchup-stained burger gets cold? Stay tuned to find out the hilarious aftermath of this unexpected celebrity showdown. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. At this point, everyone should get their popcorn and Twitter fingers ready because Ariana Grande has just made a political playground out of her Monopoly video. To put it another way, I can guarantee that it is more entertaining than watching Donald Trump attempt to pronounce the word kafef for the 100th time.
Late night tweets making headlines again. A few minutes after midnight, the president tweeted, "Despite the constant negative press, kov fief." Kov fief is now the subject of thousands of memes with Twitter users and celebrities alike tweeting about the strange message. Merriam-Webster even weighed in. There's often a lull, a delay between the first part of a tweet and the second part of a tweet, but not usually this long, and not usually when the first part of it is so utterly confusing.
At first glance, the music video for Monopoly that our little pop princess has created appears to be nothing more than another catchy song that you could add to your playlist while you are working out. Ariana, on the other hand, has a high ponytail trick up her sleeve that involves sequins, so make sure you keep your ponytails high. In an instant, Ariana completely disregards Trump's name and throws it away without any hesitation. Actually, you did hear it correctly. It was as if she were throwing away a used napkin from McDonald's when she threw away the name of the former president. When it comes to the game of political Monopoly, what a splendid flush. Is this a big deal? Is a question that you might be asking yourself at this point. I will tell you that it is considerably more significant than Trump's ego after he held a rally in Florida. The rise of social media occurred at a rate that was rapid enough to be referred to as fake news. People on Twitter were going absolutely crazy, posting things like Ariana Grande just made Monopoly great again. Trump is in the trash where he belongs, shared another admirer of the president. Ari for president in 2024. Is it even possible for you to imagine Ariana working in the White House? At the very least, the residence of the president would smell like cotton candy and girl power. The most concerning aspect, however, is the manner in which Trump will respond to this musical middle finger. There are crickets. Absolutely not at all. None of it. Maybe he was just having a bad hair day, or maybe he was too busy playing real-life Monopoly with the nation. Both of these possibilities are possible. Who will know? On the other hand, we are aware that Ariana's sneaky jab is more than just a publicity stunt. It is a sign that our popular musicians are becoming more political and are not afraid to say things that may make some people angry. Ariana is demonstrating that she is more than just a pop princess by getting her hair pulled back into a ponytail. She is also a political force. The entire situation is comparable to a peculiar Jenga game involving famous people. We are all keeping a close eye on the tower to determine whether or not it will collapse when Ariana removes Trump's block. Will President Trump finally send out a tweet? Will Ariana distribute "You're Fired" as a diss track in the near future? It's keeping us on the edge of our seats. Even though we are waiting for Trump's Jenga tower to fall, let's talk about Food Fight, which is another game that he appears to enjoy playing. At what point in time did you believe that a president could be the most outrageous person in the world by wearing a tan suit?
How did the president react to hearing that news?
Around the time that I understand the AP article went live, I remember hearing noise. So Mark went down to the dining room and came back to the office a few minutes later. After Mark had returned, I left the office and went down to the dining room where I first noticed there was ketchup dripping down the wall, and there's a shattered porcelain plate on the floor.
Get ready for a condiment disaster that will take your mother's spaghetti night to the next level, elevating it to the occasion of a fine dining experience. Just picture this. The White House is treating today as if it were any other day. At this very moment, our young man Donnie is preparing himself for lunch, which is his most cherished presidential activity. There is a high probability that you are dreaming about Big Macs and coffee. Then, before you can even finish saying fake news, something happens that makes Trump feel sick to his stomach. At this point, the majority of people would complain and possibly tweet an angry emoji. But what about our irritable President Trump? The mode of his toddlerhood kicks in. To put it simply, we are talking about a monumental outburst. Do you know what his preferred weapon is? One glob of ketchup that is all American. When someone tells Trump, "You're fired," Trump's lunch is already in the air until it is served. The victim who was intended, the wall of the White House, which is totally spotless. There's a good chance that it is worth more than the majority of our homes, you know, the one that has all of that detailed historical wallpaper. Shatter. Without a trace, democracy has been smeared with Heinz Red.
Extremely angry at the Attorney General's AP interview and had thrown his lunch against the wall. And he said something to the effect of, he's really ticked off about this. I would stay clear of him. He's really, really ticked off about this right now. Which was causing them to have to clean up. So I grabbed a towel and started wiping the ketchup off of the wall to help the valet out.
If you were to work in the White House during that time period, what would it be like? It is highly likely that they are huddled together in the corners, conversing with one another. An individual poses the question, "Is this just another day in Trump's America?" In response, another individual says, "I didn't sign up for this coffee and ketchup nonsense." Regrettably, they probably believed that the tweets of Trump would be the most difficult thing they would ever have to deal with their entire lives. However, who are the true most valuable players in this story? The staff responsible for cleaning. Now, these unsung heroes have to triumph over the most challenging challenge they have faced to this point. What methods are available for removing ketchup stains from old wallpaper? You can't even Google how to clean up after a presidential temper tantrum. They have no idea what to do. There is a possibility that they should have purchased additional ShamWows, which are extremely absorbent. When Trump has these outbursts, you can't help but wonder what he is thinking about all of the time. Does he really mean to say, "Lincoln, take that"?
Look, I know that you're dissatisfied with me, and I'm glad to offer my resignation. And he pounded the table very hard. Everyone sort of jumped, and he said, "Accepting."
And Ms. Hutchinson, was this the only instance that you are aware of where the president threw dishes?
It's not. There were several times throughout my tenure with the Chief of Staff that I was aware of him either throwing dishes or flipping the tablecloth.
I will demonstrate to you who we consider to be the best president. It's also possible that the statement is more along the lines of, "I'll make the White House red again." Whatever it is abundantly clear that our commander-in-chief possesses the emotional maturity of a child who is starving. That's the real deal, folks. Here it is. What is this crisis with ketchup? Just the beginning of Trump's meltdown menu. This is just the first course. Indeed, that originated from a different location. It would appear that Trump is in the process of learning how to throw a fit from a toddler's guidebook. Just so you know, it would appear that Ariana Grande possesses a significant amount of political influence in addition to her high ponytail. Who would have thought that a pop princess would be at the top of the list of voters' most popular artists? It would appear that young people are paying attention to something that Ariana has to say, and not only to the songs that she has to offer, but also to the political beliefs that she holds. In a manner reminiscent of the Pied Piper of politics, she is guiding an entire army of young voters to the polls. Move over, sour old politicians, because the new sheriff in town has a much better vocal range than you will ever receive. It is possible that the next time President Trump wants to connect with young people, he should consider releasing a duet with Ariana rather than tweeting about it. However, it is possible that his voice is capable of hitting those whistle notes. Therefore, when you go to see Ariana perform live, keep in mind that she is not only serving her looks and bops, but she is also serving democracy. If you wear heels that are 6 inches tall, who says you can't make a difference?